Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, Sam. Hi, Henry.
I'm not
Answer, Henry. Say,
Hi.
yay, Henry and Sam are here with me.
No, I'm not here.
Hi, Samantha and Benny down in Hilton Head. Hi, Zayra and Oliver and Iris. Zay, we'll see you Tuesday. Tomorrow, we'll be over there.
This is already
Hi, Hannah and Noah. Hey, Kayla. Hi, class.
How many people are class?
Hi, Mattia and Madeline and Zachary, Aria, and Colin. Hi, everyone. Today's story is The Wizard of Oz.
I've counted 14.
Have you read this story before?
I've watched the movie.
Have you heard it before?
I've watched the movie.
Have you watched the movie like Sam?
I've watched the movie.
Thumbs up if you know about The Wizard of Oz. Take a minute to turn to someone next to you and predict what's going to happen in the story.
Is my thumb up?
Go ahead and I'll wait.
Is my thumb up?
Okay, don't do that. Okay, I heard somebody mention Dorothy's name, and I heard somebody mention Toto's name. Right, they're going to be characters in our story. Okay, let's get started. This is by L. Frank Baum. This is an adapted and abridged version. So it's not the whole version. It's a shorter version. And this is a chapter book. I'm going to show you the back
Mimi's
cover.
first chapter book.
This is Mimi's first chapter book on YouTube. Look at that beautiful illustration.
Leave a like if you want her to do more.
Now,
Yeah.
as I'm reading, some of the pages in this chapter are a lot of words and not a lot of pictures. So I'm showing you these now. This is a very old book, and some of the pictures are in black and white.
How about we color them?
That's a great idea.
Give me crayons.
Okay, before we start, I'm going to show you some of our props. Who's that guy? If you said the Tin Man, you were correct. We'll meet him later. Who's that? Call it out if you know the answer.
I can't even see. Oh, of course.
Right, the Scarecrow. They might not be in today's chapter. And here is, yep, I heard Oliver. I heard you say the lion.
Well, I'm actually pretty sure you meet the Scarecrow before you meet the
Here is, who is she?
Dorothy.
Right, Dorothy. You're going to meet her today. And, don't get scared, Zayra. Who's that?
Mimi.
It's not Mimi, that's the witch. Sammy. And we will meet the witch, but maybe not today.
Is she evil because
And I'm going to show you my little barn, because this story is going to take place on a farm. Okay, are we all set? Here we go. The Wizard of Oz. Chapter 1, How Dorothy Left Home.
It's only a pretty long chapter.
Do you know how Dorothy left home?
Yeah. Tornado made the windowsill hit her hard on the head and she got knocked out.
Let's find out if Sam is correct. Dorothy was a pretty little girl, always happy and gay. She was also very poor.
Wait, she was
And
dead.
since she had no father or mother, she stayed with her Uncle Henry, Henry,
Wait, did you just
and
say that?
Aunt Em. You're not helping. A little farmhouse with one room in which they all cooked and ate and slept was their home. The cabin stood in the middle of the great Kansas prairie, which is so dry and windswept that no trees will grow on it. But Dorothy loved it because it was the only home she had ever known, and her aunt and uncle and her little dog Toto, who was her only playmate, filled all of her need for companionship. Do you have a little dog? Does he keep you company? I know. I heard you say, I know Thumper is a great companion to Zay and Oliver.
I have
Sammy, do you have a little pet that keeps you company?
Yeah, she's my crawling creature. She's my gecko named Lippy.
I love it. Yes, you do.
Maybe sometime I'll be able to take her in a video.
I'd love that. The cabin had what might be called a second room, but it was really just a storm cellar under the building, reached by a ladder through a trap door. This is true. I'm not making this up. All the houses, this is what it says on the words in the page. Is this fiction or nonfiction?
I feel like at the moment it is realistic fiction.
Exactly,
But once
Sam. Sam is exactly right.
Land,
That's what I was going to say. This is realistic fiction right now.
Right now.
All the houses nearby had these cellars, for great winds called cyclones often swept across the prairie. Nothing could stand up against these winds, so to avoid being blown away themselves, people went into these cellars. And that is true. People do go into cellars in storms. You can still do that today if there's a storm being predicted.
Tornado.
Sure, if there's a tornado or a hurricane, the weatherman might tell you to go down into your basement.
Okay, for a hurricane, that's pretty unnecessary.
For a hurricane, you might want to leave town. Okay, next page. There were always signs that everybody recognized when a cyclone was coming. On this day the story begins, Uncle Henry was certain that one would strike before dark, so he went out to tie up his cattle, and then he told Aunt Em and Dorothy to get ready to go down into the cellar. They all hurried toward the ladder, but just as Dorothy was about to follow the others down, little Toto, badly frightened, slipped out of her arms and ran to hide under one of the beds. Naturally, the little girl ran back to pick him up. Just as she had him safe with her again, a strange thing happened. Do you know what happened? Go ahead and whisper to someone next to you. What do you predict happened?
Mr. Pin, I think that... I don't know,
Let's find out. The house suddenly whirled violently 2 or 3 times, then rose slowly through the air like a balloon. The north and south winds had met just where the house stood and made it the exact center of the cyclone. And so the great pressure of the wind on every side raised the house until it was above the storm, and there it was carried away for miles and miles. Now, in the cyclone, this can happen to a house, but don't worry, this is not going to happen to your house. And if a storm's coming, you go down the basement. It was very dark and the wind howled, but after the first few whirls around, although she was alone with Toto, Aunt Em and Uncle Henry, having been left behind in the cellar, Dorothy was not afraid anymore. As she could think of nothing to do, she decided to get into bed, and in spite of the noise and the swaying, she and Toto were soon fast asleep.
How do you sleep in a tornado?
Dorothy was awakened by a shock so severe that had she not been lying on a soft bed, she might have been hurt. She sat up at once and was surprised to discover they were no longer moving. Bright sunlight was coming through the windows of the room. And this happens after a storm. It's hard to believe. All of a sudden the sun is shining. Dorothy jumped up with Toto at her heels, opened the door, and gave a cry of amazement, for the cyclone had set the house down in the midst of a beautiful country. Trees stood there, bearing all sorts of luscious fruits, while bright flowers and birds filled the air with perfume and song. Where do you think she was, boys and girls? Where is she? Is she still in Kansas?
Isn't that like the most famous line from Wizard of Oz?
Let's find out,
Toto,
Sam.
I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Thank you, Sam. Let's find out. While she stood staring at these wonders, she noticed 4 strange-looking people coming towards her. They were small, but certainly not children, for their faces were wrinkled, and at least one of them had white hair. They were oddly dressed. The 3 men in blue with matching boots and tall pointed hats that had little jingling bells around the brim, while the one woman was white, sprinkled with stars that sparkled like diamonds. On seeing Dorothy standing in the doorway, the men paused and whispered together, but the little old lady walked right up to her, curtsied, and said, "Welcome, most noble sorceress, to the land of the Munchkins. We are very grateful to you for killing the wicked witch of the East." Where's the witch, Sammy? Come hold the witch up.
Well, this isn't the wicked witch.
Just come hold it up. Just hold it up so everyone can see.
She's coming for you, children.
Thank you, Dorothy, for killing the wicked witch. Dorothy was much puzzled, but she answered politely, "You are very kind, but I think there must be some mistake. I have never killed anything in my life." Oh, I lost my spot. I am only an ordinary little girl lost in a strange place, but I have never killed anything. Well, said the little old lady, your house has, which is the same thing. Just look there. She pointed to a corner of the building where under a heavy beam near the ground could be seen 2 feet wearing silver shoes. Dorothy gave a cry of dismay. The house must have fallen on her. Oh dear, what shall we do? Why, nothing at all, said the little woman calmly. It is very fortunate, for she was the wicked witch of the East, who has held all the Munchkins in slavery for many years. What does that mean, boys and girls? Was that a good thing that Dorothy had done?
Well, it was a good accident.
Right, Sam, it was an accident. She didn't do it on purpose. Are you a Munchkin? Asked Dorothy, and was told that the tiny old lady was only a friend of these people. She was called the Witch of the North. Dorothy was frightened. She had never seen a real witch. In fact, Aunt Em had often told her that there were no such things. The old lady read her thoughts. Don't be alarmed, my dear, she said. In the world beyond the land of Oz, people don't know about us. But we have witches and wizards and sorceresses of all kinds. Some are wicked, some are good. I am one of the good ones. But I'm sorry to say my power is not as great as the wicked ones. Or I should long ago have set the Munchkins free myself. What about wizards? Asked Dorothy, still a little frightened. Oh, don't worry, said the witch in a low voice. The great Oz himself is the chief, more powerful than all the rest of us put together. He lives in the beautiful Emerald City. Before Dorothy could ask anything more, the 3 Munchkins, listening silently until now, began to shout and point. She was so old, explained the Witch of the North, that this accident put an end to her. She is already turned to dust, and her shoes are yours if you want them. There is said to be some sort of charm connected with them, but few of us know it. She picked up the shoes, which were very pretty, and gave them to Dorothy, who took them absent-mindedly. The witch and the Munchkins shook their head. They had no idea where Kansas was. To the east, not far from here, said one of the men, lies a great desert. No one would live to cross it. It is the same to the south. That is the country of the Quadlings. I hear that the west, where the Winkies live, is just as hard to reach. It is ruled by a wicked witch. The Winkies are her slaves, and she would make you one too if you passed that way. The old witch smiled kindly. I guess, my dear, you will have to try to come home with me, she said. Oh my goodness, there's an awful lot going on here. What do you think's going to happen?
I think that I'm going to eat a banana.
One more page, and then we're going to stop chapter 1.
Okay.
Dorothy began to cry when she heard these words, and all the little Munchkins shed some tears of sympathy. But the witch was more practical. She took off her pointed cap, balanced it upside down on her nose, and mumbled a secret spell. Immediately, some words appeared on the cap. They read, "Send Dorothy to the Emerald City." She rubbed out the words. If Dorothy is your name, dear, you must go to the Emerald City. The great Oz can probably help you. He is a good wizard, they say. I myself have never seen him, but I will give you a kiss which will protect you from all harm. When people see that you have been kissed by the Witch of the North, you will always have friends. So saying, she drew the little girl to her and kissed her on the forehead, and where her lips touched, there was left a shining silver mark.
Wait a second.
Now go ahead, said the witch. Follow the road of yellow brick, which leads from here to the Emerald City. And when you get there, don't be afraid. Tell your story to the wizard and ask his help. She bade Dorothy a warm goodbye, and the 3 little men bowed low and wished her a pleasant journey. Then all 4 of them vanished. And that is the end of chapter 1. What do you think is going to happen?
He's going to go to the wizard and ask for some help.
Right, good prediction, Henry. And here's Dorothy. Make her walking down the yellow brick road, Sam. So today, boys and girls, we started our story. This is a chapter book. I will read another chapter each day. So now what can you do? Can you draw some pictures? Can you illustrate a story for me? Can you draw some munchkins? How about you draw Dorothy and her little dog Toto?
How about we eat some munchkins?
Sammy said you could eat some munchkins. That's another fun thing to do.
Yeah.
So you can draw a picture for me. It can be a picture from the story, or you can just draw a picture of yourself and your little pet dog. You can draw a picture of your house and how it would be in a storm. What room would you go into to keep safe?
Dog.
All right. It was fun seeing you today. As always, love you. Say goodbye, Sam.
Happy picnic.
And that's going to get ready for Dorothy to carry a basket. Have a great day, everyone. Say goodbye, Henry.
Happy picnic.